Welcome to this episode of Tiger Score News. I'm Willie Harris.
I'm Adrienne Walker. Today we will have a recap from this season of golf, tennis, and track. We also have highlights from the blue and white game. Coming up next is track and field. This year, the Tennessee State women's track and field team took first place in the 2014 OVC Indoor Championship, and the men placed third.
On April 12th, I attended the Boston Marathon to catch up with TSU's track stars who are well known for their talent.
My name is Tamaron Key, and I'm a senior.
My name is Brianna Adams, and I'm a senior. My personal goal was to win indoor OVC, and we're going to try to do the same and win outdoor.
To be a student athlete, you just have to stay focused, determined, and get the job done.
It is hard at times. It has its days, but the main thing is to stay determined.
I took third place in the pole vault. I currently don't know my place in the men's discus throw, and I took fourth in my heat for the men's 400 day. My rival really was anybody in our conference.
Effort.
Yeah.
Win.
Win.
And win again.
Yeah. Let's go. This has been the Boston Marathon with Jasmine Reese for TSU Tiger Score News.
What a year they had, Adrian.
Yes, it's really good to see student athletes care as much about academics as they do athletics.
That's good. That's very important. Next, the TSU men's and women's tennis team, coached by Robert Kane and Jarissa Greener, are going to update us on the season, as well as two outstanding players. Coach Robert Kane has been the head men's and women's tennis coach at TSU since October 2012. Coach Kane told us his expectations for the team as well as individuals.
The most important thing that we expected the players out of this season, just to compete, just to be competitive and just compete to the best of their ability, represent TSU well.
Coach Kane has a reputation for holding standards for his players to help them excel. So, Coach, with this being the spring semester, how do you deal with the academics and the sports? What do you tell your players to balance this?
Between Coach Gennard and myself, we just make sure that the kids are going to study hall. We make sure the kids are, in class and doing what they're supposed to be doing throughout the year.
We also talked with Coach Jarissa Greener, who is in her second year as graduate assistant coach for the women's tennis team. She talks about the challenges the team faced this year and what the team can do to improve next year.
The season would have gone a lot better if we had a full complement team, but I expect it better for next year. There is no room on this team for laziness, and we always expect 110% from our players.
Even though the women's team had their challenges this year, two players stood out with their performance, Trinity Randolph and Victoria Haynes.
They're very much power hitters from the baseline, but they're progressing and they're getting better, and we're expecting even more next semester from them.
Even though there are challenges for both the men's and women's tennis team in 2014, both Coach Kane and Grenard are looking forward to a better season next year.
The golf team has had a productive season with Erica Edwards, a freshman from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. We had a chance to talk to her about her first season here at TSU.
TSU women and men's golf team are having a very productive season this year. They both are finishing up their season with the Ohio Valley Conference Championship in Alabama. They want to finish strong. I had a chance to get to know a couple of players and the head coach.
I really got into golf because my dad and my brother played, so I always grew up going to the golf course with them. I never took it serious when I was younger, and then once we moved to Murfreesboro from Phoenix, we found out that the school I was going to had a golf team, so my dad was like, you should try out for the golf team. So, next season, I expect to shoot some really low scores.
The thing about this team is we don't really have any younger golfers. We have two seniors, and everybody else is a junior. I'm pretty sure either junior or like a transferring sophomore. So, we're all really experienced golfers. So there's not really any. That's one of our strengths is we're a really experienced team.
It's different. We have two teams here. I'm both the men's and the women's coach. Our men's team is a little bit more established, so therefore my contributions will be more towards their course management. Next season, I have very high expectations from the guys' team. We're going to have three newcomers coming in that are really going to push the senior class. From the women's team, I expect everybody to continue to grow. This summer is going to be a very good time for them to work individually on their swings, work on their games, and take some of their experiences they've had this year, come back next year to where it's going to be a little bit more comfortable for them, and they're going to be able to turn those good practice rounds into good tournament rounds.
With all that the players and coach have said, they are looking forward for a great season next year. I'm Nelly Charles for Tiger Score.
Also, the Tennessee State women's golf team concluded play with the final round of the first annual Western Kentucky Ladies Hopper Classic. The men will play in their final tournament before the Ohio Valley Conference Championships. Hopefully, both teams will do as well next year.
Thanks, Adrian, for that report. In football, head coach Rod Reed signs a 5-year extension. The Texas native will stay in Nashville until 2018. The Tigers are coming off an impressive 10-4 season and an appearance to the second-round playoffs. Go Tigers. The first since 1999. The TSU football team also held its annual blue and white game. Over 1,000 supporters piled into the hole to see the athletes. The final score ended with the offense with 36 points and the defense with 24. Here with the highlights from the game is Ashley Dow.
The Tennessee State Tigers held their annual blue and white game on April the 5th in Hale Stadium. A little over 1,000 fans cheered as they watched the Tigers go head-to-head. The band also participated in the event by providing the crowd with Jesse tunes. Since the fans were so enthusiastic, I asked them to share their views on the game.
So what brought you guys to the game today?
Just supporting the Tigers. You know, they're having a great season. They had a great season the last season. So just coming out here, see them play and go hard.
So what do you expect to see from the Tigers this year?
Well, they've been working kind of hard. I got a lot of faith in them. And from last season, I got a feeling that they're going to be a big impact on this year's season coming up pretty soon.
This is the Blue-White Game with Ashley Dow for Tiger Score.
Well, it seems like TSU had a productive season in most sports.
Indeed, they did. I'm looking forward to next season.
Are you going to go to any football games in the fall?
It's a classic. I must return.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Tiger Score.